Alright guys, I'm going to run through my bug out bag as quickly as possible. So here's my bug out bag on my Bob, and the items that I have yet to put into it, not the magazines, just what you see here on the uniform. I'll start at the top here. Compression style shirt. Pretty good, pretty well made in China. Very accurate to the multicam pattern, other than where the tan is located. That's about the only place you can tell it's different. Looks like some fabric was made with mock multicam, the other with real multicam, such as the pads here in 1000 denier. Very close though. I mean, you can't really tell unless you put real multicam side by side, and even then you have a little bit of difficulty telling. So it's a real good little design. Fairly cheap. I think the entire uniform with pants and a shirt cost $80, I believe. So not too bad. The pants have, of course, the same little inserts that go into the little pockets there, which so does the shirt. So when you put them in, you see here, you just see the plastic cap for the pad itself sticking out, not the black insert. So that's just to show you how that works. A multicam sniper veil, which does have holes in it and whatnot for better ventilation. I was using a recon wrap in multicam. Didn't turn out too well. I think I'll use that as a sweatband or some kind of a compression wrap or camouflaged outer wrap for a bandage. That's about all it's good for. As the recon wrap was causing my glasses to fog. Multi-tool, just your standard Leatherman type multi-tool, made by SOG. Has little gears on the top there. I don't know if you can see it. Little gears which really make it great for providing some torque and whatnot. And the little handles here move with each other, so they're actually in unison. They're not independent of each other, where you have one flopping over and the other one not. As you can see there, they stay pretty uniformed because of those gear sets. Nice multi-tool. I really liked it. I like it. Costs $50, $60. Set of Bully goggles with eyeglass prescription inserts. Shoe goo. Never know when you're going to need this. Really good adhesive. Can even be used for liquid skin if need be in a pinch. A nice little shoe repair protective coating system. Also used for attaching netting to flight suits and other uniforms for ghillie suits, permanent ghillie suits, or ghillie applications. So nice little thing to have on the go. Not needed, but it's lightweight, just takes up room. Sharpening stone, fine side, coarse side. Always good to have one of those. I've heard this called many things. The most common name I've heard is a spork. Of course, the real spork is actually just one unit where it has a fork and a spoon at the other end. This one's a little different. This has a fork, a spoon, a knife, can opener, and bottle opener, and cork popper. So if you extend the fork and the spoon, you get yourself a unit that actually detaches. The fork and the spoon closing in actually hold themselves together, holds the unit together. This will go in the rucksack. Not needed, just nice to have. 100% polyester sleeping bag liner, good to have. Can be compressed down a little bit more for a better pack size. Bicycle shorts, or compression undies, what do you want to call them, boxer briefs. I got them from Target, 2-pack, $15. Does wick moisture very well, comfortable, and keeps you from chafing. I've tested them, they are excellent. I've got to get a couple more packs of these, so I'll have a total of about 6 in my rucksack and 1 for wear. So good to have. And of course the pads here. Now the uniform here has an unzippered side, which is pretty interesting. And it unzips all the way, so you can completely take the uniform off other than unvelcroing the waist strap, which there's not a button to fiddle with. And also there's, on this uniform, you have a magazine pouch on each side. There's velcroed, and quick detach, locked open. Fits PSL mags very well. 20 round AK mag, 20 round SKS mag, AR mags fit great in it. You have another one on the other side of the leg there. There's no other pockets really on this other than the kind of a hybrid between an ass pocket and a side of the leg pocket that you see here. And if you look, it's stitched here but velcroed here. And if you undo the velcro, the pocket actually slides out from that where it's been stitched in like a little tuck area and opens up to almost a full-size hip pocket. Very nice. I mean, I actually like it. If you ride your dump pouch, your leg dump pouch up high enough, you can get it over the flap here, or ride it low enough you can get it underneath the pocket and still utilize this. I found out that where my dump pouches are right now, the strap goes right over the center of the pocket, so it's kind of useless to me. But if I ride it up a little bit more and pinch the family jewels off a little bit, I can get use out of the pocket, or drop it down and let it flop around my kneecap. Then I can get use out of the pocket. So I feel that my dump pouches are a little bit more important. They can be easily quick dropped, so I'll just leave the strap across the side there. It doesn't bother me. You want to get as much weight off of your legs as possible. So this is all that needs to go in the bug out bag, and we will move on to the bug out bag. And I'll try to run this through quickly as the battery and the camera's dying. So I'm missing a set of boots there, because I would carry 2 of them on there, as I use one for daily wear. And my uniform is not in here, as it's right there. So I always have in this primary compartment here, it's actually a secondary compartment, but in this little outside compartment, this is where I would have that uniform. It's a quick grab, snatch and go. You're in the woods, change out your civvies. I would carry an extra wet weather bag, compression wet weather bag, to put my civvy clothes in, compress it down, and shove it back in here, and use less room than what my uniform is going to use up because of those pads that come with them. So my civvy gear would take up about half this space. So, but I do have my gloves in here, good little gloves, Black Hawk gloves, padded knuckles, non-slip finger and thumb grips for your pistol grip on your rifle, and also a nice little ball of the hand pad from when you hold your rifle for long term. That way you don't fatigue as well and rub blisters all over your hand. Flash point of about 300 degrees, I believe, pretty sturdy. Your hands don't really sweat too bad in them, and they do keep them fairly warm during the wintertime, I've noticed. But you know, an outer shell glove would be more welcomed in conjunction with this. So these can be used as shells or thermal inserts for shells. I have a rigger's belt in here that would go, of course, with that uniform. 3,000 pound weight limit capacity. Very nice, just cut to fit and braze the end. Pretty cheap. I think this was like $25. Nice little thing to have. Various little accessories in here, little pouches. Like it looks like a cell phone pouch, a little key clip. Various little small pouches up here for maps and various other tools. Pin pouches here. Another little insert here for smaller applications in paper, and little bungee retainers. Looks like another cell phone pouch or something to put in there with a Velcro pad on the front for this. Actually, both of them have Velcro pads on the front to have that retainer bungee tied down a little bit more, adjusted for the space. Nice little thing. Everything on this pouch has a little rain lip on it and a recessed zipper, and I haven't caught anything on the rain lip yet. If you know, it is a plastic style zipper, heavy duty though. I do like this pack a lot. I got it for like $120, brand spanking new. On the outside of the pack, I have little retainers for anything I need to maybe attach to the molly on the fly. There is a little hidden, pocket right here. As I find it, there it is at the top. Where I have various items in here. CR 2032 batteries, button type batteries for red dots, illuminated scopes. 50 of them in this pack. I have another one lower in the rucksack, so quick and easy grab. I shouldn't run out of batteries, but just in case, I've got 50 and then another 50 in the pack, so a total of 100 in the rucksack outside of what is actively being used in the red dots and scopes. I kind of just shoved all the excess gear that came with my Pro Mask in here, so bear with me. An extra Pro Mask filter set, which I have a huge box of that sitting right there, still sealed up, so I have about 100 more of these. So an extra set of filters, a watch. This little watch I got from Sportsman's Guide. It was a pack of two, one with a green band, one with a black band. I've had these for about 3 years, and I have yet to change the battery. Pretty durable little things. As you see, it's actually just ticking away. Definitely the wrong time on it, but nonetheless, it still works. I'm actually really impressed by this watch. I don't know how well it would hold up to impact, but it was 15 for two of them. So I bought it, tested it out, and I've been very pleased with it. It hasn't died on me yet. Still kicking, walking along strong. Extra little inserts here for converting the Pro Mask into being able to use the U.S. style cheek filter inserts, which is what is in that box there, as the OM10s are those style, which are a lot larger, and they don't sell them to the United States, so or you just can't find them. But there's OM10s and there's the US M17 filters, I believe, and those are the caps for the M17s. Thank you, Captain, for informing me of that and pointing me in the right direction to get them. So I think those were $15 to get those. Definitely worth it. Covers, protective covers for your inner lenses of your OM10 Pro Mask. And I have a set already on it, so this is just an extra set just in case other ones get too scarred up or damaged somehow. Some kind of an adapter. It looks like for a larger filter. I've never really looked far enough into this, but it looks like just an adapter to screw on a large can filter. Like I said, I have not checked to verify this situation on the Pro Mask. It's just a little extra device I have. I just threw in the pack and carried along. It's plastic, so it's lightweight. Alright, that's all in that bag there. So then we're going to move on to the lower compartment here, lower outer compartment. And I have various items here. So it just flaps open. And I have steel cleaning rods that came with a PSL. Definitely won't fit the American style brass cleaners, so I'm kind of stuck with what came with the PSL on this, unless I may end up carrying another set of these but in brass for the American style, or just buy an adapter to convert this into the US brass brushes. I have yet to find one of those adapters. It's been quite difficult to find them apparently. Another thing of toothpaste and another travel toothbrush. Just in case I lose one or the other one wears out, I do have an extra one. They're so lightweight it's pathetic. So I just decided to chunk another one in there. I don't know if anyone has taken into consideration that we all have goggles. We all have Pro Masks, or at least a majority of us do. We all have some kind of an optic, scope, or red dot that has a lens on it, and some of us even wear glasses. So these would come in handy. Just soft cloth, silk cloths and whatnot for cleaning glasses, scope lenses, red dot lenses, hollow dot lenses, anything that is a lens. I have a couple of these to clean them, a cotton and a micro fiber one. So definitely useful, a hell of a lot better than using your cotton twill shirt that will, that has dirt on it, and you're going to scratch your lenses up. Now I threw these in just as extras. It's an extra 3 set of emergency blankets, and it can be used, like I said, for signaling. Emergency blanket is what they're designed for heat retention, as it does retain 99% of your body heat. It could be used as a makeshift shelter, poncho, things of that nature. It is really thin stuff, so you have to be careful with it. But I mainly had it in here just for a quick signaling device without damaging my original one, and I have some backups just in case. They're real lightweight. They're kind of flat, so they don't take up a lot of room, and if I need to, I can strip out a couple of these and just carry one extra. But also these things can be used for water purification. Just in the evaporation method, you could put this over a hole that you've drenched with, you put moss in there and you drench with water with your cup underneath, and put a little small pebble or light enough rock in the center of this by tying it down with larger rocks, and the heat will evaporate the water in the hole that you dug and ride up the emergency blanket, drip down from the rock that you put in the center that is aimed over the cup, and collect your water that way. And because I have 3 of these, I can do 3 of those applications and make sure that I have water. And I do have at least 2 pots with 2 pans, 1 large pan, 1 large pot, 1 medium pot for an individual usage. So I could use all 3 of those and still have an extra smaller pan or pot for drinking or boiling, or making coffee or whatever, making a small stew. Whatever the case may be, I have enough applications of this for evaporation water purification. Here we have broken shell extractors, and I will end up putting these most likely in my tactical vest, as that's where they will be most useful. Whichever one that I'll use at the time, because they are kind of heavy. Whichever one I use at the time, may it be 39 or 54R, I have a broken shell extractor just in case. Rifle cloths. It's a used pack I just stuffed in there for, of course, cleaning your barrel after you scrub it down. I'll replace this with a full-size pack at a later date. This is a full-size hard-cased cleaning kit with a bunch of little goodies inside. This is a G3 cleaning kit. Got it for about, I think $2. It comes, about $2 a pop, I think it was, but it came like in a pack of 4, so whatever that is. But barrel snake, heavy-duty barrel snake, has a little clip on the end to attach your brushes down there. And it's heavy enough, the entire unit's heavy enough, and I've used it, works out really good, and it's not, abrasive or anything, so you don't have to worry about it damaging it, but it is a nice little barrel snake to use rather than a twine one that is in my other kit that just has a lead weight on the end. So nice little barrel snake here. Now this I just added in here. This did not come with it. Did not come with the kit. It's called a level. And this side you put on the top of your elevation scope turret, and this side has a little magnet on this end. It's a very low powered magnet, and you would slip this in furthest, the most level part of your receiver of your rifle, and get it as close to the chamber as possible. Level it out to your rifle as flat as possible, and then you would, of course, match your scope up. Once your receiver is level, you would match your scope up with the top level here, and that will get your crosshairs level as possible to the bore of your rifle, without an expensive piece of equipment to do so. So cheap little device, I think $25 for this set, and it has come in handy for me. Most of the time I can eyeball it pretty good to where the level is almost dead accurate, so it is an extra device that I would like to double check my work. The rest of the stuff did come with the case, along with that barrel snake. A little nylon brush And we also have an oil bottle. It's not full yet, but it will be full with Ballistol. It does not say how many ounces it contains, but it looks like it'll be enough. A nylon bore brush, and it's kind of a heavier or a larger bore brush. I like to use this more so than anything else, just because I don't like risking scarring up my barrel with brass if you don't clean it right. And also, it does come with a nylon on both ends and brass center for those heavier applications or leading in your barrel. So if you're using ammunition shooting over 1050 FPS in pure lead without a gas check, you'd want to use this one more so. Or if you have a little bit of rust, that'll take it off. But I would only use this occasionally, not as a primary cleaning device. I don't have any Ballistol in here yet, but I am going to put some in here. I'm going to this side here. We have a larger saw, different from my ISEC. My ISEC had a little finger saw, which I do have an extra one in here. This is a rollout, like a chainsaw blade. It's not an actual chainsaw blade, but it is designed in that same perspective, and two-hand little grips there of nylon. So nice little saw for larger applications and larger trees to cut down. I have a couple tubes of military grade face paint. I put tape over the top to keep the caps from falling off. Light green and loam green. So 2 of those, brand new. DEET, good for mosquitoes, 12 hours. Somewhat used. I'll get a couple extra things of these insect repellent bottles. Good stuff. It smells like shit, but keeps mosquitoes off. Probably why it does. An extra fire steel, and I've tested this one out, as you see here. See where I scraped it. Those saws that it came with in my previous ISEC video suck. I snapped that one off in a couple of scrapes. But it's, of course the smaller piece is more durable, so it still works. You can use pretty much anything, can opener, knife, whatever. And then I have another one of those little finger saws for smaller applications if I don't want to use the bigger saw and I don't want to go into the ISEC. Block sharpener, sharpening tool. Very nice. The instructions tell you to place this on a flat surface and strike down. Do not hold in your hand, and I did not follow the instructions. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that little scar in my thumb in the center of the camera is the reason why you don't want to hold this device and sharpen your knife at the same time. So follow the instructions. Don't be an idiot like I was. More paracord. I think this is about 100. I want to say 100 feet or more. Maybe, I'm not entirely for sure, but it's definitely much more than my ISEC, and I don't remember what I had. I think I had 10 foot in my ISEC, but I think this is 100 feet. Nice thing to have extra for, tie downs and whatnot, and multiple other uses, including even taking the strands out of that and making a little fishing cast net. Another spool or another packet of 50 of those CR2032 batteries. Another of the filter, you guys I'm sure are familiar with this one by now. 50 gallons. In my previous video I said I thought it was 60. It's not 60, it's 50 gallons. So 50 gallons purification, screw-on cap to any standard water bottle that you may find out there, and a tube to drink out of the stream, extra little cotton filters. Now, when I say filters, that is just to keep the mud and junk and solids out of the primary cylinder here of the filter. The primary cylinder has a microbial water conditioning insert that you cannot replace. It's 50 gallons, throw this thing away. So good for 50 gallons, and that's it. It actually purifies the water inside of this tube, and those cotton filters are just to keep the solids out. Again, the cap just kind of pops open here on this little rubberized setup here. Voila. And you just bite down on it and you're good to go. So that's all in this pouch here. Like I said, extra set of boots, I'll just disconnect those. Quick disconnect. And we'll flip this up and show you this little device. This is a Chemlite light reducer. I'm going to have to brace the camera, hopefully I won't drop it. This little device here allows you to put a Chemlite in it and adjust the luminancy of the light released. So rather than having a Chemlite and you have to cover it up with a rag or something, slide it in here. And if you need some kind of a little bit of light, just rotate this device, and as you see, it opens right up. So if you rotate it, you can adjust how much light you want to come out, and down to, for tactical, as you see at the very bottom there, it opens up at the very bottom. So for fine for map reading and whatnot, you can use that side, and then you can gradually open it up to a full illuminancy. I think it was a 3-pack of these, was $15 to $20, but it's real heavy duty plastic. Good little device to have. They are hard to find though. Further on we have this, I believe, is my poncho. Yeah, so here's my poncho, my Marpat poncho. Heavy duty, I believe PVC style, rubberized coating. It's at least a pound. It's pretty heavy, and it can be compressed more than this, but it comes with a waterproof bag I can use on the field. $30 I believe for this, or you can go get just a standard OD green one, same weight, same size. A packet of 4 of them, new of the green, just OD green ones will cost you $30, but I got the Marpat camo just to have some kind of camo pattern. This will stay in my rucksack, and I'll end up getting a set of 4 of those other ponchos to carry on person, as this one would be used for more shelter, and I would want the camo for the shelter just to help out. On this side here, it is padded, and there is a plastic insert inside of here. This is actually where my water bladder comes out with its tube here and attaches to the shoulder straps, and so this opens up to expose your water bladder. I can fit one of them in there, maybe 2. There is a Velcro insert right here, or Velcro pouch, which is where that plastic insert is located, and it can be removed, and it's pretty daggum rugged, but it does have a nice soft padding foam on the outside with a nice padded back. Sorry about that, guys, my video died out on me. So yeah, a very nice lower back pad for carry. Now the kidney pads are not that thick, but still comfortable, and it's enough padding in there to do the job for long-term usage, or from for long treks and whatnot. Large 2-inch or 2.5-inch quick release buckle, and all these buckles I really like them. They're designed, as you saw when I just clicked it, it quickly shot out of the way. I don't know what kind of buckles they use on this, but I would love to get a hold of some extra ones. The ones I did buy don't quite fire out like that. But excellent buckles on this pack. Of course, the pack is made by Condor. Condor's same company as Fly and Pantac. So also up here we have a sternum strap that is on a Velcro retention, but it also has a stopper right here so that it doesn't overextend and stretch your Velcro out. So there is a safety design in this to keep you from damaging your Velcro and keep some kind of rigidity if your Velcro eventually dies out. So it is a nice sternum strap, and it's adjusted on the other panel here for your chest size. Quick release on the straps here, so if you need to drop it real quick, if you need to drop your pack real quick and get the hell out of Dodge, it's a simple, let's see if I can get the spring-loaded action to it. That's it. It just pops right out, and you can drop your ruck very quickly, very easily. various little attachments, loop throughs, kind of horizontal molly or PAL webbing on the side there for various other little small attachments, or can even be used for Alice. I believe this lower hip piece is removable. It looks like it just slides right out of there. I've never really tested it. I can very easily get this waist strap around my gear, my waist, and as well as with my blast belt on. It looks like, yeah, there's a quick release little adapter right there that disconnects from the side waist padding. So you can slide that out, but it is retained by a quick clip device. This entire unit comes with these built-on Velcro web retainers, kind of like mini web dominators, and you'll see various web dominators I've already put on here to keep that down from flopping. But they come with them to keep your excess web gear retained back, or they'll come with, like this, elastic to keep them retained back. So they really did a lot of thought into this this rucksack. I really like it. And like I said, you may be able to fit 2 water bladders in here, and in doing so, I have an insert for 1 water bladder to come out here. On the other side, another one for another water bladder, or if you just want to use 1 water bladder. The only thing I don't like about it, this flap is stitched down both here and here. So you have to work and finagle with it by opening it up from the side here, and these 2 locations on both sides are the only way you can get into that, to get into that slit to get your water bladder out of the way. And in the water bladder compartment at the very top here, you'll see a little hang retainer if you have a water bladder that does not have a built-in center brace to keep the water bladder's form. If you need to hang your water bladder, you can do it right there. But there is a little hole cut out. You can see where the water bladder hose goes in for your water bladder hose to fit through. Various little small attachments, little Alice packs can fit on there. Just a little single Alice pack, like a med pack or a compass or something like that. It should be big enough to slide the little Alice gear in, or some paracord if you want to tie down your poncho or your tarp or tent to the top of this. You can use those connection points to do so. Both sides have side handles and a top handle. Very nifty. I found myself needing the side handles when carrying it around to help distribute the weight a little bit better. I'll get on to the next pouch here. This is my excess medical pouch. It's not quite finished yet. There are some things that I'll change out and move around or remove or add to, but here it is anyway. So we have iodine crystals. I think this costs about $65–70, 300 grams. By the information I found online, in the grams of the iodine compared to how much water it can purify, by the calculations I found, 300 grams of iodine should last around about 10 years for one person. I don't know how accurate that is, but it sounds really good. So just for worst case scenario, I estimate 4 years for these crystals. That's just water purification, as I will also be using this for irrigation and wound antiseptic. So, but still good to have. I'm going to get another bottle of this for Jesse's pack. Another bottle of new skin, just in case you run out. Like I said, this is an overage of medical gear and something quick to grab. Black button thread. I would use this more so than the tan for bowstring, traps, snares, snare wires, fishing wire. I would even go to the extent of tying this together in a 1" to ½ inch down to a 1/4 inch grid system to create a a cast net, tie some rocks at the end, whittle out a little piece of wooden disc out of wood with holes in it, and run it up the excess up through the through that disc, which would be an anti tangle device. Attach a string of paracord or paracord sheath to that end, to the excess strings and whatnot, and tie some rocks around the perimeter of it. And I could, out of this spool of thread, I may be able to get a 3 to 5 foot cast net for catching smaller, like minnows and bait fish. Something's better than nothing. And rather than trying to catch one daggum bait fish just to snack on it, you can catch a bunch of them and you have yourself a feast. At least you'll survive. But this should be able to get maybe a 3 foot cast net, 3 foot diameter cast net. I haven't tried it, as it's very time consuming, and one day I need to sit down and give it a shot. But a good little thing to keep in mind. And of course I would use a black first, as black is not a naturally occurring color in the wild. We also have a sewing kit. This is kind of a larger sewing kit. Let's hope I don't drop the camera again. Okay, so we have a little bit larger sewing kit, and we have a used spool of thread. It's definitely not full, but I have plenty more usage out of this. In the center here we have a extra pair of sewing scissors, and hang on a second, the camera's wobbling here. Extra pair of sewing scissors that are fold up. Again, keep those lubed, as they will rust. I taped up all the pouches. As you can see, they're tearing and they're being punctured by the needles, so I have a bunch of safety pins, sewing needles, and other type of pins and whatnot in here. And then in this pack I have buttons and patches for quick repairs, or if I lose a button I can repair the pants or shirt on the field. It zips up into a nice little nifty sewing kit. Further into the pouch here I have 3 of these galls, compressed galls. They're about 4.5 inches wide, and they're 4.1 yards when stretched out. It's a 6-ply cotton galls for single use, compressed, as I said, so it's nice and compact and solid. Good extra, always galls you can never have enough of. I have 3 of those. I'll pull those out real quick. So there's all 3 of them. As a part in my IFAK, an extra little thing of general painkillers, Advil, Excedrin, and Benadryl in this packet, taped up. You can always use the tape for something else. Of course, another set of 3 tampons, medium, heavy, and light. So just a little extra just in case, your buddy gets tagged, or you find a woman that needs to be plugged up. There you go. Then you have Sam Splint. This is not in my IFAK because it is bulky and not very heavy, just bulky, and I don't have enough room for it. And it's more likely I would be shot and have to have a wound, a battle wound or bullet wound dressed, more so than a broken arm or a broken leg. In which case, if I have a broken arm or a broken leg, I don't, especially with a broken arm, I don't think I'll be using this by myself. With a broken leg, maybe I can drag, regardless, with a broken leg, I'll be able to drag myself around and at least get some sticks and make a little splint that way. As in my vest, I have 2 survival knives, so not needed for me to carry on person, just for the sheer bulk of it, but necessary to keep it in the rucksack in case of emergencies. Our medic, of course, can grab that in case he uses one and needs another one. Now we get on to the fun stuff. Now this is where I would actually put an extra set of boots. I could even put a rifle on here and use this bottom strap that you saw to also retain the bottom of the buttstock. I am getting another to-go bag that has molly gear on the side of it, and I could attach to the front here, so that could extend my carry, or I can actually attach it to the bottom of the rucksack. You'll see here you have various little connectors that are a little bit larger. It's a full-size one panel of molly strap, so really good to attach something at the bottom there with paracord or whatever. And they do have drainage holes in all the pouches, so it helps out. See, all the pouches have little drainage holes. Very, like I said, I'm so impressed with this rucksack. So let me come over here and we'll take a look inside the main compartment. Now there's one item I'm really debating on dumping out of the main compartment, just because it does take up room, and it's not really heavy. It's just it is kind of dense, and it is taking up room. And as you guys see, I don't have ammo and I don't have food. That is my next step that I have to go through, is food and ammo. Once I decide on the primary weapon, I'll decide on how much ammo extra to carry. But food is a definite must, which we are going through dehydration and various foods and whatnot to put in the pack. Now, I'll open the main compartment, and it has a lot of little stuff in here. Again, extra. Oh look, I didn't even need shoe goo. I already had a little thing of shoe goo in there. Oops. Oh well. So no shoe goo from there. I already have it. In this zippered netting compartment, we have an extra compression shirt, so I can use this in conjunction with my uniform or another shirt to help keep me warm in the winter time. And this would work pretty well by itself, but this in conjunction with the current compression shirt, and I also have another uniform. It's just a standard jacket. It's a standard blouse. So this with the compression and the blouse would work really well to keep me warm in these conditions, in Florida conditions and whatnot. Again, shoe goo. And in the second lower zipper, we have, this is going to be taken out. I don't need this. I was using this as a shemagh for airsoft. It's Flecktarn sniper veil, which I'll replace with a multicam sniper veil. So this is no longer useful, other than somebody else using it or something of that nature. These goggles, of course, need to go out. They don't work that well. They kind of suck. They were the little cheapy ESS style goggles. So I just chunked those out. I have the B.O.B goggles, or B.O.B goggles. A pair of socks. This actually needs to go in the front side with my boots, so I can change my socks on the fly there. We have a boonie hat. I put this in here because I don't really use it that much, but it is a multicam boonie hat with shotgun shell holders. And it also has a sun neck flap. Keep the sun off the back of your neck. So, good little boonie hat. Boonie hats are also used in construction of ghillie suit face veils. This is a loose item set in here. This bin, if you're looking for a good little machete saw combo that's compact, fairly lightweight, this is the key. It's not sharpened yet. I have to sharpen it all, but this little half is your stake puller, your hatchet, and your hammer. So everything in one there. I completely forgot about this little thing was even in here. In the top compartment here, we have an awl or a pick, or a climbing assist tool to get into those creases. We also have, get it out. There we go. A sturdy style solid blade saw, wood saw, bone saw, not a metal saw. And lastly, of course it's not very big, but it'll do the trick, the shovel. So it's a little shovel. Standard twist type top military grade, military style. This pin at the top you actually push out, and you would change the heads in the unit. So that comes right off, and this main handle you would attach to the various other attachments from a hatchet and whatnot. And also a compass, a little compass on the end that can be unscrewed, and the handle is hollow, so you can store different devices or items of interest in there. Here is my Coleman larger pot. As you guys remember in my ISEC, I had the smaller one tied up with paracord. This is actually the outer piece that the smaller one in my ISEC would fit into as my personal boiling pot mess kit kind of deal. So I put this one in the top here, and as you see I have some paracord still tying it down to there to help me, or I guess not help me, get the unit out. This is a larger boiling pot. I mean, it's good enough for me. Looks like it's a 300 milliliter boiling pot, and also a larger pan. So nice little set. This set with the other pan that fits inside here and the other pot that fits inside here that's in my ISEC, Walmart, $25 to $26. Anodized aluminum, very, very nice, very lightweight, useful. Water purification applications, cooking applications. This little pack right here, this is my sleeping bag, compressed sleeping bag with my bivy bag already around it. So it's a little bit bigger than, the pack size says it was an 8-inch by 8-inch. This is more like a huge, massive ball of shit. So it increased, I think, about 3 inches, 4 inches in length, and probably 2 inches in diameter. So it got a little bit bigger, but the compression straps or compression bags works pretty well. As you see, fits in here pretty nicely in that little compartment there. So sleeping bag, bivy bag. I'll get the sleeping bag liner in here another way. This is what I've been looking at taking out of my pack. Like I said, it's not that small and it's not that heavy. It's just dense. It's a field jacket liner, and the reason why I say get this out and maybe put this in another bag, or go ahead and put it in a drop location for future usage, is between the shirts that I have, the compression shirt, I know I've got another cotton shirt in here as well, the primary compression combat shirt, and a blouse. I don't think I'll need this. I really don't, unless we go to a lot colder conditions. I would like to somehow get it out there still. I mean, as you see, it doesn't take up much room. It fits right in here at the top of the rucksack, but that could be used for a good 6 days of dehydrated food. And it is kind of pinching on my water bladder a little bit, but I could use that space for food. And ammo I can fit in any of these other pouches pretty easily, but the food I like to keep in here. I may keep this, I may be able to, I haven't really decided yet, so that's kind of if, maybe. It is waterproof compression sack. This is a sack, and this is fairly heavy, of underwear, thermal socks, so it's actually winter style socks, just one, or no, actually 2 pairs of winter style socks, 5 pair of these OD green socks, I think that's about it that's in there. So socks, underwear, and thermal socks in here. And cotton shirt. That's where my cotton shirt is. 1 or 2 cotton shirts are in here as well. Compression sack, waterproof, great little thing to have. These compression sacks are fairly cheap. I would recommend picking up some of them. And they do work. I've submerged these in a bathtub and pulled out. And this little vent valve here seals itself. Just by giving it compression, it just closes it up with a little silicone gasket in there. Like I said, submerge this in the bathtub, and if sealed properly, which you just roll this down, and as you roll down, you push it in until all the air is pushed out of it from this vent valve. I pulled the unit back open, and my pants and shirts were completely bone dry. So I have an extra set, I think about 4 of these. good packs to have, good little bags to have. Fits a lot of crap in it. This baggie right here, again, another compression bag. This is a full uniform, dry. Underwear, shirt, blouse, combat shirt, and pants, and socks, all in this bag. Now, this is not the new combat with knee pads. This is the old one. The new one with knee pads should be about the same, but I cannot put the knee pads in here. Those will have to be added separately. So, but still good to have. Extra set of uniform, grab and go. I could even attach this on the outside of my bug out bag here for a quick snatch go uniform that will be waterproof on the exterior of my rucksack, and have my primary sack, or primary uniform that goes in the outer sack here, on the outer pouch here, already in a compression bag, ready to go as a secondary, or even put it in here as a secondary, and use this pouch for, or this side for, as soon as my brain works, food and ammo. Otherwise, and if I do that, I'll have to figure out some other way to attach boots, which I could just attach them to the bottom, or do something of that nature. Or just as they're my daily wear, I would already have them on. So, very big pack. I think it's, if memory serves me right, 3,600 cubic inches total. They have various little, quick detach buckles and everything in here to help retain everything in, keep it in its form. Little tie straps, a little set of tie straps you can use for water bladders, reinforced areas with patches and whatnot. You could even, because this is not attached to anything, you could take and break the stitching off of this and use this patch as a patch to seal up a hole or a rip or a tear or something. As you see here, it's not attached to anything but this handle, and that's the reason why they put it there. It's a extra double fabric durability for the handles, for the carry handles. So, but you can still cut that excess off, or break the stitching and restitch the handle back on there. You'll lose your load bearing ability, but nonetheless you could use that to stitch up a frayed slit or hole or something in the pack that may happen over time. So all around, excellent pack. If I'm missing any equipment that I haven't listed, let me know. I don't have any defog in here yet. The defog gel I have in a box here. And there's a lot of crap in this box. I mean, there's the box there under my Dremel tool and everything. So there's my massive 105 quart box of excess shit that I have to stick in here, such as I don't have any rags. I have to put rags in there. Bars of soap, which I do have bars of soap hanging around here somewhere. So I'll transition some of that material in there into this rucksack to have all my gear. But if I am missing something outside of that, let me know, and I'll kind of go from there. But if you think some of this stuff is not needed, give me a heads up. Like I said, if I am missing something, let me know that as well. Tell me what you guys think.